What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video? Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. You never miss a stream. Today is Friday, August 5th. It's day 31 inside the Big Brother house. A full month inside the BB house. We had pretty wild events that happened yesterday. We had a live eviction. There was an HoH that happened last night. Muffin Gate is still a big topic inside the house. And we'll have an update here for in the beginning before we get into the episode. And there's even more of an update when we talk about what happened on the live feeds after the episode. So before we get into what happened on the live eviction, let's talk about what happened the morning of the eviction. So we started off with, again, Muffin Gate. If you didn't see yesterday's video or you haven't been following along, last night Jasmine had these muffins she was saving as a have-not, and she put them in these little like Ziploc baggies, put them on the table. She was like, oh great, I'll go my shower, I have to go to the DR, then after that I'm not a have-not anymore and I'm gonna have my muffins. So she was really looking forward to these things. She gets out of the DR, she gets out of the shower, and half a muffin is missing. So she goes on this big journey to try and find out who ate the muffin. We find out very quickly, actually, it was Turner. She still, to this moment, right, even inside the house right now as I'm recording this, she doesn't know that Turner ate it. So she set up in the morning like a little trap. She put the muffins out there as bait to see if she could catch whoever was doing it. She was like hiding behind the couch. She was like talking into her mic like she was some FBI agent on a stakeout trying to figure out who ate the muffin. Other than that, it was Daniel and Nicole trying to go around to see if they could make like a last-ditch effort to try and get the votes to keep Nicole instead of Taylor, because they kind of figured out last night that things are going awry. And oh boy, Nicole, if you didn't already have a deep enough grave, you dug it even deeper. So one of the things that apparently happened that we didn't get to see was Jasmine was actually telling Taylor that she had her vote to stay. And apparently Nicole walked in when this was happening and went off on both of them, being like, why am I leaving this week? Blah, blah, blah. So that's the whole thing. That actually led to Nicole telling Daniel she believes that Monte, Taylor, and Jasmine have this like unbreakable bond from the fraternities and sororities they were in, and not even Jasmine was in, but Jasmine's husband was in. So it's this really weird connection that she thinks they have that it doesn't matter at all. But that's what she was trying to say, is like they're tight. Monte and Jasmine, they're the head of the snake. They're the ones in the top of all of this. It's a whole mess. She kept trying to pull that whole thing about, she's like, I'm full of integrity and class, and meanwhile she's still going around just being a bully and acting rude to people. At one point Joseph was in the storage room and she was like questioning him about the vote, like why Daniel, actually I think it was Daniel, yeah, Daniel was like trying to get Joseph to like fess up about the vote, and Mike walked in, Michael, he's like, oh hey, what's going on? And Daniel's like, there's your winner right there. And Michael's like, I was just looking for some marinara sauce. Like, what's going on here? So they were just running around, just being menaces the whole morning, and to really no avail. Really, there was nothing they could do. Nicole was going home. That takes us into the actual episode, and we started with kind of a recap of Daniel and Nicole being clowns, and like the show was literally clowning on them. There were like clown noises they played and stuff like that. And it was just terrible. Kyle and Alyssa, their showmance took up a lot of time during the episode as well, kind of going over everything that happened there. And other than that filler, that was pretty much it for the first half of the episode. That takes us right into the eviction vote and the speeches. Oh my. So Nicole, she does her same old, I'm I played this game with integrity. I'm 41 years old, blah, 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 blah. But the real good speech came from Taylor, which if you guys have been following the channel, you knew about this. She's been talking about it all week, how she wanted to quote Rihanna and tell Nicole, you look so dumb right now. And she did it. She nailed it. It was such a good speech. Fantastic. So much fun to watch. Definitely going to go down as one of the best, like, burns on somebody as they're on the way out. Because she literally thought she was so set up and so perfect to stay, but it all backfired on her. After that, we had the vote. It ended up being 9-1. Daniel was the only one to vote for Nicole to stay. And Nicole was evicted from the Big Brother house. She left, you know, without any drama, really. Hugged everyone and walked on out. Julie kind of let her off the hook, if I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen the full interview. They said the full interview was going to be posted on Instagram. I still have to check that out to see if maybe they gave her a little bit more hard-hitting questions. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing a lot of her post-game interviews that are going to be happening as well, to see how she's going to explain what happened here. I think we all know the answer, and it's not going to be a good one. There was a little thing, too, I was wondering, because it did seem like Julie might have been talking to her as they went to a commercial break. So she was evicted, they went to the commercial break, and then they had the interview. So I wonder if they kind of used that time to be like, hey, listen, like, this, you know, there's some bad stuff going on, but we're not going to hit you too hard. And I don't know. It did seem a little bit like not the interview I wanted to see Nicole have when she left the house. After that, it was up to Taylor to choose her new bestie pair. She wasn't limited by anything. They said she can choose Monte Joseph Terrance, Daniel Kyle, Turner Jasmine, Michael Brittany, right? She ended up choosing Alyssa and Indy. So now we have 2 sets of 3 and 3 sets of 2. So Taylor, Alyssa, and Indy, Monte, Joseph, and Terrance, Daniel and Kyle, Turner and Jasmine, and Michael and Brittany. And this was pretty much the plan for the leftovers, right? Make it so that each pair, each festy bestie, has someone not in the leftovers in it. So if anyone goes on the block, they're safe. The only problem is Michael and Brittany. So that's their biggest worry going forward in the next week is if Michael and Brittany end up on the block at the end of the veto ceremony, it doesn't matter if they have the votes. It's over. It's endgame because one of them will go home and there's nothing they can do about it. So that's their only worry. But are they going to have to worry about it? We'll get to that in just a second. The episode ends with no HoH. We didn't see anything for that. They ended kind of just with us listening in on the house guests. And Daniel, at one point, like he was, when they were looking at the memory wall, he's like, hey, listen, everybody, you got to play your own game. Only one person gets to check, blah, 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 blah. He was saying, like, book me a ticket. He went off to in his own, like, to the bedroom area while everybody was in the kitchen. He's like, just book me a ticket. The game's over. He's like, as a fan, this is just terrible and tragic. This is awful. No, as a fan, we're having the most fun we've had watching a season in a very, very long time. Did that seem like a jump cut? That's because it was a jump cut. I went to edit this video and my audio didn't work for the rest of it. So let me tell you guys what happened on the live feeds when they finally came back after the episode. The best case scenario for the leftovers. Michael won HoH. So Michael and Brittany are safe this week, and any possible nominee has at least one non-leftover member in the bestie group. So it seems like the leftovers are completely safe this week, and the plan is still to backdoor Daniel. The HoH competition also sounded like it was close. Daniel apparently became within 4 seconds of winning the competition. That is all Michael was able to beat him by. The competition sounds like it was somewhat physical, with maybe the puzzle involved too, and one of those things where there's balance beams, one being longer but easier to go, and one being shorter and like kind of a harder route. So Daniel was really close to being able to pull off the HoH this week, and that would have been kind of devastating for the leftovers, especially if Michael and Brittany ended up on the block after the veto was finished. So with that plan still in place, the idea was, how do we get it to be the easiest road to get Daniel up on the block? If you put up Turner and Jasmine, there's a possibility that Jasmine isn't even medically able to compete in the veto, so that would be one less person to compete against Daniel to beat him in the comp. Whereas if you put up someone like Monte, Joseph, and Terrance, that's 3 people to go with Michael and Brittany and try and beat him in the veto comp in case their names are pulled. And also Taylor, Alyssa, and Indy, not really an option unless the worst case scenario that Daniel wins the veto. Then maybe they could go and say, all right, maybe we can get them up and send Alyssa home. Maybe they can just do Terrance, but at least they have plans in case the worst happens and Daniel does win the veto. That kind of brings us to, I want to give you an update on the Muffingate situation, because it's the lighthearted aspect of this game, before we get into what may be a little bit of an ugly side, a bit of a heel turn for one of the house guests going forward, and what might be the storyline for the rest of the season, or at least for the next few weeks after this one. So as far as Muffingate goes, Jasmine still does not know that Turner ate the muffins, and she has her bag of muffins. She's still trying to figure it out. She's added cookies into the bag as well, and she's put them out with a note that she wrote in eyeliner to keep away from them and not to eat them, and she plans on finding who ate the muffin. So everyone wants to mess with her. At one point, Indy went downstairs when they were all up in the HoH and they were watching her on the camera as she ran over to try and mess with the muffins. Alyssa actually took a bite and put a lime in there. They were all kind of messing with her. Jasmine is still on the hunt for the muffins. Will she be able to catch the Muffin Man known as Turner? We're going to have to find out. She says she has a whole detective outfit she's going to wear. It's a thing. Now, though, that fun stuff is talked about, let's talk about Kyle. Some of you may have seen it, others who haven't. He had his conversation with Michael, and let me just say this right off the bat. He, game-wise, right, is making some good connections and making some good points, but overall, the way he's expressing them, the way he's gotten to these conclusions, are just not cool, and definitely not something that you want to be hearing from someone who seemed to be a little bit of a fan favorite, has gotten into a showmance now, and is really kind of taking a turn. So what am I really talking about here? Kyle has this paranoia that in a post-Daniel world and a post-Besties world, if you look at the numbers, right, if the leftovers stay strong, great. But what if they don't? Monte and Joseph, they really do have a pretty good relationship with Terrance. That's kind of a number for them. They also have a really good relationship with Jasmine. That's a number for them. And Indy as well. Whereas on the other side, Kyle really just has Alyssa that he has a good bond with, and otherwise, it kind of scares him, the idea that maybe Monte and Joseph and Terrance and Jasmine and Taylor and Indy, those 6 could all come together and form a group that would be able to take out people like Michael, Brittany, Kyle, and Alyssa, and Turner. The only problem is with this is he's listing off people who he himself says come from diverse backgrounds. And he said they would have this common goal and they're all here for the same reasons. There's never been a Brazilian player or a Brazilian winner. And Joseph wants representation of, Middle Eastern people better represented on Big Brother. And Terrance and Monte and Taylor. And you guys can see where I'm going with this. It just wasn't a good look from Kyle, especially when you're framing it like that. It just wasn't good. And again, game-wise, I can see where you might go, oh yeah, you know what? Monte and Joseph, they do have a better relationship with Terrance than I do, and that could worry you. But he's not seeing it as his fault in not having the relationship with Terrance. He's seeing it as, well, they have an advantage because of their experiences and their backgrounds, and that's a problem for him, and that scares him. And it was very cringy to watch the pitch that he gave to Michael. I'm interested to see whether or not Michael shares any of this. If he does, it would probably be to Brittany. That is his closest ally. Even though Brittany is still with Michael, she is kind of transitioning to getting Taylor to be more of her number one final two in this game, because she feels like going up against Michael, especially with this HoH win now, he's going to have a big target on him, but also he's got a hell of a resume so far, the best resume of anybody in the game. Daniel's already been calling him out as the winner, so that could be an issue for her going forward. But again, this is definitely something where it seems like Kyle is now trying to lay the seeds for him to be able to make a move against the leftovers and keep Alyssa around, and he's trying to kind of gain numbers for the leftover civil war that's going to happen here, where everybody's going after each other. And as I say that now, that feels like it's a bad choice of words. I'm thinking of the Marvel movie. I'm thinking of Captain America and Iron Man going against the Avengers. Come on. But it's wild. It's not going to be a good scenario, I don't think, and I don't think his popularity is going to be too high going forward this season. Definitely slotting himself into the new villain role for the episodes going forward. But again, that is sadly how we have to end this update, because everybody went to bed pretty much after that. There was some talk from Brittany, Michael, and Turner up in the HoH. They were kind of talking about, you know, all the stuff that was happening in the game. Actually, Brittany was filling them in on what the girls were calling themselves, and Turner was filling them in on the stuff that he made with Pooch. So it was kind of fun as they were all just talking and laughing about how quickly the game changes and where they're at now compared to where they were just a few weeks ago. So yeah, what did you guys think of the episode last night? What do you think of all those new updates? I have a feeling like there's going to be a lot of opinions on the Kyle situation. Let me know in those comments right down below. Also, if you made it all the way through this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video and you never miss a stream. Last night we had a great live stream here watching the live eviction. It was a lot of fun with all of you hanging out in the chat as we watched Nicole get evicted. So we will do those every Thursday going forward until the end of the season, and every morning we will have these live feed updates giving you all the news about what happened inside the Big Brother house. As always, my name is Ori, and I will see you next time.